All right, so we are back again with part 6, I believe. 6 or 7. It'll be up here. Number's going to be up here. So one thing that I was looking at as I put my glasses on when I did this is if you're looking down, I had this going straight down. I have to remember this is round too, so it's going to be, you won't see as much of the side. Anytime you're going to do a more of a, what is it called? Perspective shot or foreshortening, you won't see so much of the side, and then the legs would be more round as well. Or kind of a short oval like that, and then it makes it look like it's going down. I had this flat because all of this is going to go behind. Where's my pin at? So where is it at? Where is it at? What did I do with it? This is this one right here, I believe. And it's going to actually go behind like that. So it's going to be round. So if you took a, let's say a cylinder, and it was straight, it would look like that. When you turn it up, you're going to start seeing the circle, and it's going to go down like that. So you're going to see pieces that actually go behind. Like if I did this, let me bring this closer. If I did this, this would actually go, it comes down, circle, and that circle would actually go behind or into that. And that's the same thing as this would do. You would go behind there, remembering that the body is round. So, but again, that determines how much of a angle you have on the character. And I keep looking at my drawing figure dummy that I want to pull out, but I'm just too lazy to reach over there and grab it. So, okay, so we did the delts. So let's put some arms on the guys. So let's put some arms on the figure. So I broke it down into 3 shapes: circle, oval, and a cone. Those are your 3 shapes. Those are really simple shapes to draw. Your circle, no matter how you turn it, it's still going to be a circle. This is just going to get, if you looked at it from the top straight down, it's going to look like the circle. If you angle it a little bit, it's going to be more like this. This is going to be more pointed. It's just going to turn more into an oval. So the more you turn it around, I have nothing that is shaped like that. The more you turn it around, the shorter it's going to get, or the longer it's going to get. Like if I turn this inward, it's going to get shorter until you have this circle shape. So it's got like this. If I bring it down a little bit, kind of look like this. I said I was going to draw big too. If I bring it down a little bit more, it's going to look like this. And if I bring it down, because say, let's just say there's a line right there. So that line is going to be there, that line is going to be right there. And if I brought it all the way down, it would look like this with that line on it like that. So that's going to be your bicep and tricep. This is going to be your forearm. So the same thing again, if I looked at it from the top, you have this back circle here, and you'd have that front point there. So if I tilted this a little bit more, if I tilted it, you would have a little more of a point right here. If I brought it out a little bit more, it just becomes a little longer. And instead of that point being in the center, it would move over. A point right there. And if I do it even longer than that, the point is going to come, it's going to be longer. Like that. And that is vital to foreshortening. So if you have something like a cone, what I did was that this was like a paper towel roll. How did I do this? I cut this and I kind of rolled it around and taped it so it would be more of a cone. So if you could do something like that, we all have paper towels. So if you do something like that, it would help immensely. Like I say, you have this and you tilt it over more, it just takes on that shape. And I put the stripes around that to show you guys, you know, what it looks like. If you're looking up at it, if you're looking down at it, how the stripes take form. What are you saying? I don't know. So anyway, it's good to have some type of reference material. And this, like I said, this is just paper towels. I just put, what is the paper? The little color paper around the little paper towel holder. So yeah, good to have that. If you can't afford the dummies, the drawing figures, it's good to have that. Okay, so I said I was going to start drawing big. Did I lie? I don't know. All right, torso. Right here, center line, make that cross. Chest in the middle, you make that tunnel or upside down U or mountain, whichever you want to call it. That. So remember, this is going to be right on the bottom of that line if that arm is not raised. So we already have the circle. So you want to put the cylinder, and then you want to put the cone. And already it already has a shape of the arm with just those three shapes. So you cut the top of your cone off right at the wrist, and then you put your hand there. And you already have that shape. So your delt is already round, and it goes out and it comes in. This is round too, and then just round this off. So you have this roundness, get around this, and then around this here. Same thing for here. Since your chest is going to come out like this, this is going to go in. This is going to be your arm. You already got that oval shape, and round this off, and then you have your hand. And we'll get into hands later as well. So if you have your arm going up, just say I want to go up. How far do you want to go up? You put that collarbone, you put that circle, you put that oval, and then you can bend that and put your cone. You can actually have the cone touch if you want, but that's where that little circle comes in, that extra circle comes in, which I really don't tend to use much. So this is going to be on top. Remember, this bicep is going to come into that. And the chest is going to be like that. So it's going to be like this. This is your delt. And then the collarbone. And then the arm is going to come out from under that. And then you're going to round this off again. Cut this off, as I said. Round this off. And then you are able to have, I need to get this other stuff out of the way because it's kind of in the way. You have your hand up here somehow. Let me change paper because I have too much stuff on this paper. Let me do that again. So we have your, the more I try to say these things, the more I forget what they are. And it's not the core, because this is the core. My brain. Torso, thank you. So again, let's just say I'm gonna put both arms up. These collarbones, which hold these arms, are gonna go up as well, and they're gonna stop kind of right here at the circle. Maybe go a little bit further. And then you put your circle there, put your cylinder here, and your cone right there. So this is gonna, this bicep is gonna come down. This is gonna be the bottom of your chest. So it's gonna come from the bicep down into the delts and then into the chest. This is gonna be the top of the, that's gonna be the top of your delt, which then goes into your collarbone, which stops right there in the center. And your other part of your arm is gonna go up under that, like that. And then you can have your elbow right here, and then your cone right there. Chop it off at the wrist where you want it. So if I wanted to put one in front of the other, you could, let's just say this. Here's my delts, which is a given, and I've said that in a lot of my videos, meaning it's already there. It's going to be there regardless. This one is going to stay there. It just kind of goes up and down a little bit, but your arms take all kind of different directions. So that's what I'm saying. When I say it's a given, it's going to be there. So we have that. And again, let's just say we're going to foreshorten the cylinder or the cone. So let's just say we're going to like this here. Remember the shapes? Remember how we did the shapes here? We're going to foreshorten that. And then we're going to, let's just say, put the cone right across. So I'm bringing the cone into that cylinder. Now you have to be able to judge how long you want your parts to be. So let's just chop this off right here, and let's put my hand like right here somewhere. Now that thumb is going to go in on the inside, Brian. So we have this, and so I'll usually work from that. Once I get the sketch in, I'll usually work from that outside in. So this is my hand, which I'm not trying to do the hand real quick. It's my hand. This is going to be the forearm. I'm just going to draw the cone. I'm not going to do the muscles. And then the cylinder is going to be behind that. And then the delt is going to be behind that. And you have your foreshortening. Foreshortening, or when you stack something in front of something else. It's late. I had a rough day. And then your chest comes like that. So basically it's putting one shape in front of the other. You have your circle, which is your delt. You have your oval, which would be your bicep tricep. So I'm going to bring it into this. And then you can have your cone, which I'm going to bring in. Instead of having it on the end, you bring it in like that. Chop it off. Here's your, I don't know if that's going to be my right hand or my right arm or my left arm, but let's just do this for a circle for your hand. Okay? Then let's say work your way inside out or outside in. So here is my forearm. Here's my delt, delt, bicep, tricep, and of course the given, which is your delt. Hook to the collarbone, hook to your shoulder, which is your traps, which is hooked to your neck, which that makes that the right hand. So just by putting one in front of the other, then you're all right. And as I said before, once you learn this, then you don't have to look at any body's drawing to copy that position. You can just do your own position. And of course, this comes all the way back and goes into the chest. Then you have your lats here. Then you have your, yeah, that there. And then there's your stomach right there. And there's your chest. Serratus muscles right here underneath that chest, and then it takes on that form right there. 12 minutes, because I'm losing the ability to speak English. I think I might cut this one right now and just continue it tomorrow, but let's say, let's do kind of a picture. I don't know, and usually when I'm drawing, unless I can actually think of what I want, exactly the position, it's kind of hard for me to position something. Arms and legs, basically, this is always going to be, you know, right here. As I said, this is a given. It's a given because that's not going to change. So here again, and this is kind of a side thing, and here's my delt. Here's the other delt right here. So let's say this is, once you get these measurements, then it's easy peasy, fresh and greasy. Yeah, don't quote me on that one. I don't know why I said that. So here's that, and that's the hard part is done right here, because when you do your waist, it's just basically straight 2 lines. I call it a tuna can because it's just, this is all it is. If you're drawing from an angle, or it could be a hockey puck. I like the tuna can because I think I was eating some tuna at that time. I was making some tuna, and I was like, oh, that looks like the, you know, that could be for the waist. Yeah, anyway, I drew a cat right here. You can't see that. Yeah, you can. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So we have that. So if I want to put my arms, however, if I want to put my arms back, I'm going to raise this up a little bit, and it not just goes up for when you raise your arms up, but if it goes back, it's going to go back a little bit more. So do I have room? I'm looking at all 3 sheets. I have room on this. How about we do this to do that? So if I want to put his arm, and as I say, it's hard for me to remember. This has got to go inside, Brian. It's got to go inside. This is behind. Old habits. Let's just put a sword on his back. So a lot of times, something like that, I will put the hand first. If I'm doing something, how can I say? A lot of times I'll just say it that way. I'll do the hand first, and then I will put the rest, I'll connect the other dots. This is the given. This is why I say this is a given. I will connect the dots. So I'm connecting these two to that so he can pull out his sword. And then I will adjust. So, okay, that's got to be right here. This is going to go into the collarbone. This is going to go into the chest. This is going to go right up under here with the lats. And this would be either you have your front circle, you're going to have your front circle and your back circle. So I'm thinking this is going to go in front of that because he's going to be reaching back. So you'd have your back circle and your front circle like that because he's reaching backwards. So anytime you have a problem with doing foreshortening, use your cylinder and say, okay, which way is something going to go? This is the front circle, back circle, you know, or you can reverse it. That could be the back circle, front circle, or front circle, back circle. No, it's always front circle. So as I said, I'm getting tired. He's reaching out for his sword, so because using just those three shapes, and then I put this in the front of that so he can be reaching back. I'm reaching back like you can see that. And then this here, let's just say he's going to do some kind of, you know, almost a block. So I'll put this hand here, put this thumb here. Or an arm thing. So you're going to have to foreshorten that. You're going to have to bring that cylinder, that oval, make it really short, almost into a circle, or bring it out just a little bit more. So it's going to be like this. And then what's left is the bicep, tricep. So basically you're just drawing two circles almost, kind of like doing a snowman, bottom, middle, top. If I angle it, top, middle, bottom, like that. So that's the same thing you're doing, except you may be turning this more into an oval. This is going to stay a circle, and this can be, remember the point, you can go like this. There's my point right there, and then there's my front circle like that, and then here's my hand right here. And then of course you have this, which goes down into the chest. This is going to go up under here, and there's my lat right there, and there's my hand. So you just have to kind of practice that over and over until you get it right. So you have that. So this is going to go to my collarbone. This is going to go back down to my chest. This is going to come out right here. This is going to cover that because it's in front of it. It's in front of it. So it's going to cover part of that. So it's going to be like this, and then I have my hand. And that's basically doing the foreshortening. You know, you may have to shorten it a little bit more or lengthen it a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that because it was way at the top, wasn't it? And then, yeah, you have that. So we have this. This is going to be like this. This is going to come down into that. Elbow. Add a little curve to it. And then you have your, and pulling out his sword. Bicep, tricep, 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 like that. And then there's your elbow. And this actually goes all the way up under that, your chest. Then you have your lats come out, and then you have your serratus muscles there. So 19 minutes, and it is getting late, and I do have a full-time job. And once you guys start subscribing and liking and commenting, and YouTube starts to pay me right, I can quit my full-time job and do this full-time. But until then, I can't. So I have to go to bed to go to work. So I will continue this probably tomorrow. And yeah, I'm already like 3 videos ahead of this that are ready to go up. So this one, when you see it, it's up. I'm gonna say right now, and live right now, it's not ready to go up. But yeah, when you see it, it's up. All right, I'll see you guys in the next part, which is gonna be the same part, which is gonna be in the morning for me. All right, so I am back. And one thing that I was looking at as I took a 2-day break is that when you lift your arms up, your delts are going to go closer to your head. The higher you lift them up, the closer they're going to get. So you won't have this, and there's your head, and then you have your collarbone, and your delts are like this, and your arms and your shoulders are like that. It's going to go, this is going to go closer to your head, face, head. So we have that, and we have your neck, collarbone, which I'm not going to put there yet. So if this goes up, like I say, the higher it goes, the closer, the higher you lift your arm, lifting my arm, the closer this is going to get to your head. So this shoulder right here scrunches up, so it won't be that long or that far out. It's going to go up and then down. So you know that the collarbone ends right at the delt. So that's going to be the top. So the bottom actually curves down and goes into the chest, just like the arm comes out from under that. And then your lats start there. So this kind of almost like goes around, and then you have your lats, which are going to come from under your arm, and then you have your serratus muscles, and then the lats come right from behind the serratus muscles. And right in here, you have that underarm part, which kind of nobody really actually draws that part for the underarm right up in there. And then you have, well, maybe not so much, but it comes down in and then it goes back out. And you have the serratus, you have the, I don't know what this little area is called, so I just call it the tunnel or the mountain. And then right off of that, you have that V shape, almost V shape, with your love handles. And then the inside goes in, and we'll get into that lower part in a minute. So I just want to show you guys this. So the higher the arm goes up, the more this is going to point. Since I've got too many colors, this is going to go up, and then here's your delt. Arm goes up under there, connects right up under the chest, comes out. So this is going to kind of come around, in, and then out. Same thing here. So let's just say I'll put it here. So this is going to be my delt, and it's going to come back down to the chest. The arm is going to come out here and back in. So this is going to kind of go around and then come back in and then back out. And as I say, you have the underarm portion of you like right there, which nobody draws, and you know, they just don't draw that. So the more you lift your arm up, just look in the mirror, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and then take your shirt off, and then see exactly how it goes. So something else I was going to point out, let's work on the neck real quick. I think we got like 8 minutes left before my 30 minutes up. So we have your head. I'm going to draw more of a shaped head here. And then you have your neck right here. Bring it down into that V, which is going to be right here at the base of that collarbone. And then let's put your ears here. Now there are two muscles that actually come down into that V from your neck. That actually kind of forms the neck. And then under here you have your Adam's apple. And then from behind you have your traps that come up from behind the neck, and then you have your delts right here. So it's kind of like your delts form, and then there is that bone which your delts stick onto right here, and then your traps, the same thing, kind of like sticks on the opposite end, and it curves around and it goes up behind the neck. And then you have some other lingering muscles down, you know, in here, but I usually just draw these big to give less. And so you're going to have this little diamond cone shape. So because it's an indentation, I'll do that, because you have, like I said, you have these other muscles down in there, but these are the main ones for the neck. These here, and then your Adam's apple. So as I say, it goes, you have your delt, you have your collarbone, which ends, and then you have your delt. Your delt actually curves around and it goes flat like this, pretty much, not so much flat, but it goes there. And on the other end, you have your delts, traps. So yeah, just remember that the two muscles go behind the neck and then come to a point. And you don't have to draw the whole thing. I mean, just slight indications, you know, would be good. And, you know, like I said, that's all you need. And then you have your traps. And then, like I say, they kind of hook onto that bone, and your delts hook onto that bone as well. Delts being three heads, and they go behind the body. So if you tilted this up a little bit more, you'd see the back of that. Like this is right there in the center. You'd see the back of those delts. So your delts are kind of shaped like this. And as your shoulder's gonna come here, and your collarbone and your chest is under there. So you're gonna have that. You got the three muscles there for each delt, but usually when I draw, I'll just draw that one center, we'll put that one in the center, and that kind of tells me where that centerpiece or where that trap comes from. And it just, you know, unless you want to be crazy, can't think of the word, with the body, crazy detailed with the body. So let me show you this real quick. I grabbed them the other day. So your delts are like the three heads right here, and I marked all over. If you're new to this, I usually use this guy to teach lessons, because this is the closest you can get with, you know, almost realistic muscles that kind of move, you know, somewhat. But this is your delt right here. You have your three heads. You see how far this goes on the back? If I'm like this, let's pop this guy's head off. No! So you have your collarbones, and all this kind of turns into that like diamond shape. But you have the delt that's right here, the 1 section, 2 section, 3 section. So it stops right here on the back. Let's see if this will actually write on this rubber. Hold on 1 second. Not really. Yeah, kind of. So you have your delts that go way back in the back. It's not just like right there. It goes almost halfway back to the back, and then it comes up to the chest like that. It just kind of comes up, and then your serratus is right underneath that. Serratus, depends on what part of the country you come from. And then right behind all of those little muscles, your serratus muscles, is your lats, which is here. And then you have your back, and your back is, I don't do backs. That's one thing I really never really kind of got into, was backs. I'll do it every now and then, but I usually need reference to do it, because the back muscles, you have so many back muscles, and it depends on what type of a person you're trying to draw, or, you know, size of a person you're trying to draw. So if I'm drawing the front, I'm going to draw this a little small. I'm going to draw this like this, delt, and then arm. And then I'll add my lats. After I get everything there, I'll say, okay, how big do I need that? But if I'm drawing the back, I'm going to go ahead and draw that angle like that, because these are my lats right here in the front, because it's kind of like, I don't know if I can actually show this. It's weird. I don't know if it'll work. Just think of this as a cylinder, and then you just slap some actual, you know, extra muscle on here. Let's see, I'm looking at it from the back. Might be able to see it. Anyway, just think of this part as round. It's like one big round. Pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. One big round thing, and then they just slap some extra meat on that. So that's what you see from the front, but when you shoot from the back, you're just gonna see all of that. So you have your center line, which is your spine. You have the triangle for your shoulders, which is your delts. So it's going to come into a V. So grab a pencil. We have this here. You're going to have, from the corner, you're going to have like a V. And then you're going to have that V come to a point like that. Almost like a throwing star, almost like a ninja throwing star. So from up here, your delts are going to come like this from under the bottom, like that. You're going to have from here, that's going to be like halfway down kind of, and you're going to have this diamond shape, diamond, that's a triangle shape right here. And under here, you're going to have your shoulder blades like that. But there's like extra muscles for where your lats start. There's like 2 sets here, but don't worry about that. If you get this part right, then you're good to go. And then your shoulder blades, there's like a line that cuts like right across the middle-ish. It's kind of like eyes, like 2 eyes. You know, so this is going to come up. This is going to come up to, separate these two. This is going to come up to the back of your neck, which is the back of your neck. So it comes down like this, and then you can have, if you're muscular, you can have a little bit of like that lump right here. And for those that are really muscular, it kind of takes a diamond shape. It kind of sucks in and goes back out because your head is like right here behind this. Your chin is going to be down here. So this is like your head, and I usually draw like the letter P if I'm trying to draw a profile. So here's my nose. You get the gist, okay? So right here is where this is going to be. It's going to come down and then go around like that. And then remember where your ears are, you're going to get this to come right down to the collarbone. And then you're going to have your chin, but you're going to have that little part under your chin that hangs. And then you're going to have your Adam's apple. So drawing is a little bit better. With a pen, that really doesn't work. And then it's gonna come down, and you're gonna have your traps here. And then, like I said, you got this extra muscle in here, in here. And then this goes back to your delts. So your collarbone goes back to your delts, which goes into your arm. This goes up, comes up, and goes up here. This is your, I guess I don't know what this back part is called. It's called something, the back part of your head. So yeah, and you're gonna have this in shadow anyway, because a lot of people don't draw that extra piece. It's like if you're drawing an upshot of the head, you know, you just round it off and then shadow that. That can go down into the neck. And you have your chin. We'll get into the head later. Mouth, nose, and then the eyes. But we'll get into that later. You almost didn't see that. So yeah, that's the back. And then of course your arms are going to come out. Your arms are going to come out here at this point. It's going to be a point. Your arms are going to come out behind your delts. It's going to come here and then here, like that. So when it goes up, all of this stuff rises up, and it's just weird because I've never really studied the back that much, because a lot of my pictures are from the front. Unless I need to do one from the picture from the back, then I will end up going and getting reference. Even if I have to like take pictures of myself, not that I'm muscular like that, but I mean, it helps when you see how the body moves and scrunches up and so forth. And that's another thing that you can do, is take pictures of yourself, especially with your hands in different positions. And I'm going to go into hands a little bit more later. And I think my 30 minutes is up, and there was something else I wanted to do real quick, but I can't remember what it is. The neck, shoulders, a little bit of the back, the neck. So I'm thinking that's going to be it for this part, because as I said, I don't want to go past 30 minutes because people's attention span, unless you really, really, really want to learn. And you know, some people are like, oh, your videos are too long, and then some people say, oh, you know, I like the long videos, so I try to meet in the middle. All right, so that's going to be it, and I'll see you guys in part 6, I think it is, because I just put one up today. All right, later, I'll ramble. One other thing, not rambling, I said I'm going to start doing, at the end of each video, I'm going to start drawing. We're going to do characters together, doing like a slow picture of some kind of pose, and we will do it together. so that you will understand, you know, what I'm teaching, so you can actually use it. So you can just follow me. So at that point, you know, I would say, you know, get a pencil, and then I'll move really slow so that you can start doing poses without having to, you know, look for reference. You'll know how the pose goes without doing reference. So in the next video, we're going to start doing that. Just at the end of it, draw a position. I don't know, it's a random position or some action position, but we're just going to do some position together, kind of like a draw along. All right, now I'm out. Next video.